Hello and happiest of days to all of you folks. I hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing day today. One of the best you've ever had in your entire life, right? All up and down the block. So I have been starting fantasy. Planet Coaster 2 recently released a fantasy-themed DLC called the Sorcery back a couple weeks ago. And this is the first sort of a fantasy-themed DLC that we've ever had, I think, in any of our things. And I've created a Sandbox finances are turned on thing called Fantasyland, starting after I finished the game, starting in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Right, and that sort of thing too. Ran that there for hours, and that sort of thing too. And I thought it would be fun for me to do that for you folks. Now this is a larger park that's divided into 12 subsections, and this first subsection here that we are at is all about like fairies, fairyland, fairy tales, and that sort of thing too. Right? So basically, and that sort of thing. So because of that, it's actually been a little harder to make money. Because of those various things, right? Because nobody is coming in and saying, "Ooh, I want to ride that merry-go-round." It's not bringing in all that cash, right? As you can see. So I started with this junior coaster over here, and so last time I built this big wheel, I had been told that it actually did make a lot of money. That sort of thing too. Unfortunately, it wasn't. I also changed its name. It was randomly Rapunzel's spinning wheel. I'm not sure why I thought of Rapunzel. I actually changed it to Rumpelstiltskin. Actually, the person actually did have a spinning wheel, but he doesn't have enough. But that's too long for spinning, and that sort of thing too. I also decorated this. I was hoping to find a spinning wheel here too, but I also decorated it for you folks. You can see I've put down some wheels down there too. I've got all those hedges there too, and so that's nice. Also, I had enough money finally to put down these gazebos that I was looking at to decorate the chair swing over here. I had renamed that chair swing garden swing. I was hoping to have a nice little garden. I feel like gazebos there would be a nice little touch to those, but that's about $200 each. But I actually had enough money, and so I actually overnight. Well, actually, I did that on Saturday when I'm recording this on Tuesday, but you get the idea. I also was able to get enough money to tromp down this food vendor right here, and that sort of thing too. Now this is a burger place, and this is called Fairy Burgers if I recall correctly. I tried to get that thing aligned with the road, but it just wouldn't work. Sorry. But yeah, Fairy Burgers. Looks like I did, and that sort of thing too. Unfortunately, it's when a person's taking a break. But you can see it. And then over here was the fairy shakes that we had a couple of times ago, and that sort of the thing too, right? And then over here I also placed down a hot dog vending machine. So I also added that too here for some more food options. And that's good. And then after that stuff happened, it was about a day of play. You can see my tech has gone up considerably. So I figured we would figure that out. Now, what I was really wanting to do was to kind of build another roller coaster, push to the next level, if you recall. There were a couple of ones that were about to get open. There were spinning ones, and then also there was something called the sun flare on the flat rides side of things too. But basically, what I wanted to do today was either to see what I could do with that stuff, maybe take out some more text, see what I could find. Now, there was actually in the previous Planet Coaster a fan-made thing called Cheap Thrill that was very, very popular. It was a chain link fence and that sort of thing too. And then also over here, you could do some good stuff, right, with that. And so I'm not sure. Well, what you can see how some of the higher coasters. I'm not a good coaster builder. Just heads up, this is not something particularly good, right? And so I could build a coaster after unlocking one, but I figured we just look at it together and see where we were with that stuff. All right, so let's start with seeing what kind of tech I have available. For you folks. So here we go. We've got down here. So let's start over here with the coasters. And so the launch coaster would be next. I have not done those yet. It's only 5,500 finished up chapter 1. So I figured I'd grab those first. And those are the there are 2 of them there. So that's not that bad for you folks. We can totally do grab those for you folks. And as a reminder, as you move further and further into tech, it becomes more and more expensive. Just as a heads up. So yeah. So I'm just trying to find something family friendly that would work for this opening section. It has a lot of fairy friendly. So I'm looking for all ages rides, right? And that sort of thing. Now the chain lift coaster that was Cheap Thrills, that was in the previous one. But unfortunately, it's not in this one. So we'll just see what we can find. No, that was a roller. That was a wooden coaster too. Recall, water coasters aren't getting until I have the Atlanta section, which would be the next one in forward. And so that's going to be probably the wooden coasters. Will probably be the next one for that. 63. So let's grab that too, because you know how popular coasters are. Although the real fun is coming from the flat rides. They're the real money makers. Alright, looks like a couple more wooden coasters for us folks. And then after that, let's take a look and see where we're at with either launch coasters too. There. And that sort of thing too. We have enough money for the launch coasters. The special coasters, where the spinning wild mouse and the spinning coaster are. Both of those are very family friendly that I was hoping to get to. But then let's take a look over at the flat rides too and see what we got. Alright, so here, next we have, and so I was really hoping to get to, I think it's Tower Flat Rides too. Is that where the sunflower is? Yeah, that's where the sunflower is. It's over here. It's an absolute strong stuff. So I could just grab one of those or both of those. Right, and so I could grab spinning flat rods to, but although again I can't build them with a throw rod. Right, like a lot of good stuff. Yeah. They gotta be more of something that I can sort of theme. But that's the spinning flat rods too, and then also, which I think one of those might be, is that first one over there? Is that what we would call? That's a pretty common one. I think it's called Joker's deal. Actually, I think it's Riddler's. Alright, I think it's at a local theme park. That might be more friendly. Another one on the right side. Over here. What do we have over here? To see what we got. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, the one on, yeah, those are both behind money, but I just don't know. Right, so let's take a look and see what we got unlocked from those coasters. Maybe, and then we'll figure it out. If I've got something there that I can build. So the first place I want to start with is head to the custom section, and here is being listed by model for you folks, and so we can see things like the crazy mouse that I unlocked previously, which would be great for this place, or things like the things that we just unlocked, like this, if I remember correctly, which just unlocked here. That's the energy coaster. Let's sort this by cost rather than model. I'm not really that concerned about, you know, whether or not I unlocked it, but just the cost, right? And see what I've got here for you folks. That's very expensive. But yeah, it probably would be nice. It's only for adults and teens though. But it will make that money. I also got that more expensive junior Zephyr coaster and that sort of thing too. But here, let's sort by cost and then see if we've got something that's a little more family friendly that I've unlocked and could do like that wooden coasters. Well, nope. Unfortunately, no. It's sad, but it's true. Here we have the the floorless. Oh yeah, that's actually something that's actually very there's actually a pre-built that's very good that you inherit with the game. Yeah, friction wheel might not be the worst thing in the world to grab, by the way. I think I probably just unlocked that too, and it's actually for all ages. But I have like an urban fantasy place. It's probably wouldn't be themed. He probably would be more appropriate for the back, but don't sleep on that, right? Because I could probably bumper cars probably would be for my urban fantasy too. Here's the Outer Max multiverse we just unlocked too, and it's also for all ages too. It's actually pretty cheap. That's 76 for the base. What's this one for the base? 76. It's not bad. Great stuff. I think it's got some great. You cannot invert right into any of that stuff. It feels a little nicer. What about this one too? The multiverse coaster? No. Yeah, listen. Again, cannot invert for all ages, right? All that good stuff. Well, here, folks. And so let's see if I've unlocked something with those cheap things that I can just go ahead and get for you, folks. And so let's start with blueprints here. Just see what comes with the thing. Comes with the game. And then so the minder there is the floorless that I already built, and I actually have a way to make it that work with the fairy and story tales. I would just rename it Mind Your Manners, and it's definitely a sort of a fairy concept of keeping yourselves clean, right? But again, floors would work. Now we could also gram this over here, and this is that's the title roll. We just unlocked that, or no, actually we didn't unlock that. Sorry, that's that, or we've had that for a while. That would be the crazy mouse. That's definitely something we could build right over here. And as you can see, it's got about 3.4. I'm sorry, 3.4. Yeah, 3.4 to excitement. So that's what you're adding. See, well, let's take a look at the one that we just added over here. I think there's also a good one. I think it's called. It's got an S at the end of it. I think it's a wooden. That's not bad. 4.1415, and that's also 18,002 in screw van. It's just checking to see if that's all things. A wooden hybrid, right? It's not the worst thing. For you folks, I think there's a wooden one here. Trying to remember its name. It's for that would be a good investment to a 19,000. This is Splintery for you folks, and this is a 19,000. It's about 20,000 if you were to actually, sort of invest in it. But then excitement at 5.77 feels great. I feel like it's a great investment. If you're going to be dropping down, almost $20,000, that high of a level of investment feels good. Also, I think as a wooden coaster, it's totally for all ages. It can invert, right? And that's everything. Let me just check it out again. So the fear there's pretty good too. It has pretty much no nausea at all, which is great. That's where you want to be for your coasters, right? Right. I definitely think we could drop that. And Splintery, I could definitely sort of rename it and sort of calibrate. And then sort of all up down the box. It might feel, you're right. It's woodens and such might feel Western lean, and we do have a weird West, but it's not like it's a mine train and that sort of thing too. So that's definitely going to be something that I'd be interested in. Although it's a lot of money, I've taken a huge lunch for. Before I do that though, let me take a look here into the workshop to see what sort of. I just want to check it out real quick. And again, I'm a bad builder, sorry. And that's sort of a thing too. But let's take a quick look and see what we can come across on the cheap side of things. See what we've got in here too. Now that I've unlocked all those things, the cheap rolls isn't available anymore. Like cheap beginners and that sort of thing too. See if I could come up with something that's also family friendly, and then would be good for all ages. What it is over. Like Cheap Thrills was. Let's see what I've got here. Alright, here's the Wild Mouse. Wild Mouse would make sense. Alright, getting. Alright, of that. Let me take a look and pull up his details. Nico Knee. It was created just a couple of days ago. That's nice. It's so that's nice. You could see how much, or see how much it costs. I don't see how much it costs though. Sorry, or how much, or like, but you get the idea. But that's nice. Over here at the Wild Mouse side of things. So we'll check that out here in a second or two. I will grab it real fast. Also, maybe a couple of others too. Let's see where they're at. Where are you folks? It's the Dragon's Fall. Probably that might be the Zephyr one. And that would be pretty pricey. This is about Cheesy Chicken, a D9 for you folks. So let's just, again, I don't see any major information about like I don't even see which coaster it is. So it could be like the beginner Zephyr, which has a dragon thing, but that's pretty pricey. Let's grab that one too, and then maybe grab another one or two to see what we got. Nope. Potions on. Is that it? Spider's Curse? That actually would be a good flavor to Spider's Curse here in Fantasyland. See, it uses a lot of details from. I'll grab that one too. Spider's Curse, and it's also by Cheesy Chicken. I'll grab that real fast too, so you can see it. It says down in the bottom, it's a double launch coaster. I don't know if a double launch coaster would be I don't know what that would be. I'm not sure. I'll just grab it in a minute, maybe. Because I'm not sure that that's actually on all ages. Then maybe another one too. How about this one? No, that's scenery. Definitely dropping down. Sorry. We're down here? It's a Florida's. I don't know what our Florida's coaster would be. It's okay. I was hoping one I typed in. That's what they wanted me to do, beginner. That's what they suggested, just type in. And grab some stuff that was cheap and early game stuff too. But that might be a little on the higher side of things. What about over here? That's a Gypsy Fire Park. I'm not sure that's actually a coaster within the title. I'll come down here real fast for you folks. This is called Rage. And the launch coaster. I'm not sure if a launch coaster actually would or wouldn't be. But we'll grab it just in case. Let's see. Again, not seeing prices or how much it would cost right now, that sort of thing too. And so that is just as a heads up. Those were Rage, and that's also by Noah B. And so that was Rage, and Spider's Curse, Wild Mouse, and Dragon's. One of those is already right there. That's nice. You can see it. You can see it very cheap. That's good. That's actually cheaper than the Sky Sailor, which I could actually go ahead and just get another one of those because I had 3,800. That's good. Alright, so take a look at that and see what that one is for your folks. That is the Rage. Actually, Rage is only 1,400. That's really interesting. Pull it up. That's very cheap. That might not be what I'm looking for. We'll take a look and see. You know, the good thing about cheap thrills is that was like a 6.5 or something like that. Thrill rating, it was very, very worth it. Let's take a look and see. So when I pull over here, you can see all that details. Right, so let's see what happens if I start to do. Unfortunately, none of that is showing up. Sorry about that. So I would be just building that bond. So that's not good. We don't want to be building a coaster bond, right? It doesn't even tell me what type of coaster it is either. Let me try something like that. See what the other ones are. Yeah. Alright. Here you can see. No, this was about 10K if I recall correctly. It's the Hopper. It's actually a side friction coaster that I can build totally all ages. Right, and that's everything too. But you can see something like a 1.78 excitement. It's just not worth that cash. Let me pull out, see what other things I got. That's Breaking Brad. Again, it's not telling me what it has. Oh, that one actually does. See how that one actually does? It says 7.734 and all that stuff too. That's actually, but here that one does. That's weird. Doesn't have any of that stuff. But that one does. That's weird to me. What about this one over here? That was built for one of my other things, and that sort of thing too. Alright. These are the ones I got from I just downloaded from career mode that were already in the part but not saved for later stuff. You can see all of the ones there. Right in American Arrow is a regular coaster, might be corkscrew or something like that. I don't know. That's actually going to be family mode. It's a chain load. All rides. So maybe you want to move those woodwork here too. The cow shed doesn't have any of that information either. Unfortunately. Right, what about the other ones that I just grabbed? Let's see. Check those out and see what they have for their deets. Iron Yield does excitement and all that stuff too. Right, it might just be that one up front. All the other ones do. It's just that one. Alright. Yep. Unfortunately, just those are all pricey, but they have very strong excitements and numbers too. Like that one too. Look at that. Very strong. That actually has great numbers. No nausea. This is a low nausea too. It's interesting. and that is the Zephyr Junior Coaster that comes with the game Dragon Train. And since that that's actually not the worst either for a junior coaster, but it's very pricey for you folks. So let's see what we're at. Yeah, but unfortunately that's just really pricey. Right, so let me take a look at another couple of these unlocked to see what they give. Because I'm right, and so it might just be splintering. Okay. What does this? What does the next one do for you folks? Yeah. Alright, so let's head over to the flat rides just for more sun flare, and then I hate to take out a loan for Splintery, but well, I think we'll just have to. I was hoping to get something a little cheaper. Right here to the flat rides section. Unlock a couple of these for you folks. We'll start with the spinning flat rides. I think that'll be pretty good. Because that one on that one here might be something I can build later on. If that's something that just spins around a little bit and then comes back down to the ground, so you don't want to be in. Then after that, let's see what else I can build. I don't know if that'll even have 4800. For something small. Yeah, it's 39, so I don't think there's anything left I can build anywhere. Nope. I don't think I got. There might be some 36. Actually, there is that single decker bus I can unlock. Let's do it. Let's unlock a transport ride. 2800. That's cheap. Alright. And now that that's done, let's go ahead and figure out my coasters. Actually, while I'm here, let's just go ahead and check on my flat rides to see what I got. That just unlocked for you folks. Just that's it. Why is that in my... That's weird. It's in my custom. Right. Let's go to custom. We don't want to be doing all that deeper dives. Right, none of that stuff. And so what was the one I just unlocked? Let's see if I can find it. Is that it right there? Maybe. Yeah, Frenzy from. Yeah, I think that's it. Horizontal wing ride. I think it's it. Alright, order time. Let's figure out how to build splintering for you folks. That's definitely going to be where we're going to go next. Down here, I was trying to save for a transport. I just said it. Take a look and see where it is. Splintering. The other ones that are out here to just make sure there isn't anything too cool that I could grab to do. I don't think so. But let's double check. The gray mouser. that's my ride too. Is that going to be something? It's Crazy Mouse. But it's at 4.21 versus the Crazy Mouse that's in the game at 3.2. That's actually better. So maybe I would do that next. So if I can get that money. I don't even remember building that. It might be career mode. So Screw Van is not that bad either at 4.31. And it's a wooden steel. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do the splintery. Splintery costs, let's make sure it's kind of small. We'll be building something that takes like all the money, all the room in the world, right? It's fine. I don't think it'll be too big an issue for you folks. And again, this is 19.8. So we're at 38. And so I would need probably another 16. And probably an 100 for you folks, and then we'll just knock it out. But before that happens, let me just check up and see where I want to go. That probably right there probably is not a bad place for it. And then I could also put this in a couple of other places too. There's fun too. That'll work. I like how close that is to the path. It has a lot of sort of interact sections, right? But I probably want to save that section for other rides, guests, I think that's snack machines, restrooms, right? So let's do it here. Roller coasters obviously are huge demand. We always bring all the people. So, but by putting it there, will that make me the money? I think so. Or I can flip around. But here. That would work too. You just toss it right in. Still, it's fun. Also, but that's actually in as you can see, the power works like too. Yeah, but let's push it out here a little bit more. I think that'll be fine. And then we'll take out those loans. And this is again for 16,100. Actually, I'm like maybe $4 or $5 ahead. So maybe I wouldn't want. I'll do it. I'll just do 16,000. Hopefully, we'll start bringing in money. Oops, I'm sorry, I hit the Windows key. Sorry about that. One. Similar amount of stuff too. Debt remaining, all of that stuff too from previous things. Now, previously, I was doing things like just buying flat rides and seeing what would happen. Right? Would get me to how much? I think that was it. Right? Yep, that's it. So let's build it, open it, and then start to bring in some of that interest, and then also I'll need to get this powered all this. backup water. If I could find a place that's already connected with power, that'd be my ideal. Here. That's actually, yes, weird. It's that close, but yeah. That worked. This power's pretty expensive to connect. Let me take it back quick. Let's see. I could build it right here and then just not have built any of that infrastructure. I could demolish that road, right? Build it here. Working. Just build it. Two. If I just wanted to get all the people right very, very early on. And it's already in the power section. Right. Let's just, yeah. I feel like the best place is the best place for. Right. I just don't want to push it too far away because, again, I want to get that. I just don't want to push it too far. So let's head back over to here and double check it, and that's sort of the thing too. Now just add some more posts over. Although it'll be pretty pricey. I'll go like, again, I could just flip it over and head it right here if I wanted to. Like, and they wouldn't mind, I'm sure. Coming over to here, right here on the straightaway. By doing that, again, I would keep everything free. I could probably hit the power here, getting a little closer to all the good stuff. Really far down I have to come in order to make that work, but I could. Again, that would probably save me a few hundred in that cash because all those power things are pretty expensive. Putting it there definitely takes up a lot of space of real estate that's here near my entrance to do that. So do I want to do that? Or do I just want to take out a few hundred more in order to make that money? Yeah, loans are the issue, right? I'd also bring over that thing and then build it over. I mean, that might be like another like 200 for that extension, and then getting all that electricity over could be another 400 or 500, right? So it could be a lot. So let's just go ahead and stick with it. That's fine. We'll drop it here. It's not the worst thing in the world. Can I get it a little higher than this? I was hoping I could. Not there. That's in the road. Sorry. that works. But let's. I was just trying to spin around and see if it fit, but you can do it. Actually, let's save it because in case something weird happens with that, there won't be any surprises. My placement. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, let's zoom in to make sure that I'm placing this correctly too. Coaster, splintery, all of that stuff too. Closer. There you go, a little closer too. That's not bad. That would be a good place. Let's just bring it down to our first place, slowly over time until I've got that power. I do have it there, but let's just check it out a little bit because that's clearly a lot. There. Alright, it's there. Alrighty, so the first thing I'm going to do here is that now that all of that stuff is placed, toss down a bin. Just one bin. We've only got now. But you did too. And that is a splinter for you folks. Yeah, and so one of the good things about that is that it does have, you know, a lot of the sort of all ages concept, although just like this one, it's not particularly fantasy skies or even sorcery theme, but I could fantasy, even though that was in this pack too. But we'll try to figure it out. Right? But at the time, I just got to get that money. Right? I made like 3,000, but those were like an entire day of play. Right? That's just a flat ride, right? Alrighty for your folks, and so I'll just put a bin here instead of a bench with that cash that I got left, and then after that is good to go. Test this, and then open it up. We got about 17 minutes left, so we're fine on time. This will be a fairing in this section. Yep, we can get that bin here for just 5, unfortunately. But hey, it'll always be something in case they're coming off a little on the queasy side. Usually these would be on stairs, but not the stairs. Not the benches. So I figured I was gonna put that there. We'll just throw it here instead. Nope. Here, nope. Here, we good. I guess it's that. here. Yeah, that's good. Alrighty, so let's move this. This thing's named from Splintery, which definitely feels a little sort of a Western style name, into something like the isn't there something about giants and splinters in the storybooks and the things? I think there might be. I'll take a look at that later on, just like I did from Rumpelstiltskin. But here, in the meantime, let's test this coaster, and then let's ride it too. Get it open too, to get that focusing and interest. Alrighty, and we can probably do that pretty simply. It's called Giant Splinter or something like that. Yeah, we'll just change it to Giant Splinter right now while thinking about it, and then I can look up the story later to see what that is. And now let's ride it and open it up at the same time. I know I'm crazy. Not open up the ride, you know, the park. Sorry. Video cameras here, alright? Okay. Let's ride this building. Alrighty, good to go. 6.07 instead, 3.04, 3.4 around. Alright, so now let's pause that. Open it up. Bring in those folks. Right. Giant Splinter for you folks, and I haven't made any money, unfortunately. So yeah, it's a big one. I'm sure it's going to be a while before I can start to get money. It's fine. Open it actually. There we go. Let me take a look at the over here. And the testing side of things and how it looks. The excitement is good. The nausea, the fear is okay. The nausea is fun. It's great. We love that lots right all up and down the block for you folks. And then also all the other things that are here too, right? All up and down the block for you folks. And so. And so then basically what I'll be doing as that money starts to come in is I will get these some benches here too. In addition to that, those bins, maybe another. Although that bathroom is pretty centrally located, but maybe another bathroom here too. Just to say that. Sorry, folks. That'll be happening too tonight or tomorrow when I choose to play. Give it some time to build up with all that research, get that money start to flow, and that sort of thing, right? Alright, but I'm gonna take a quick look to see how we're doing for. See, I think that looks good. You can see that's mostly not decorations. It's basically just a good route. And then you can also see down here where the ground has some decor on it, but basically the only decor is the sign and the roads. And stuff that's nice. You're not spending a bunch of money in my early park that is really finding issues with the cash, right? So that's good. I like it. As you may recall, you definitely need to be working your mechanics to see how things are going. So I'm just going to check real fast because the last time I played this was a few days ago. I think it was on Saturday night, heading into Sunday for a few hours. So let me just double check to make sure that I'm about ready to run out, because if you'll recall, once somebody starts running out, right here I'll show you real fast. Once you can see how it's version 29 minutes, right? You can see how it actually deteriorates, and then it just does not fix itself. And people will start to say that rod looks old, right? And that's how you keep it. It's 29 minutes. Not bad. It's not the worst. It's about half. For those rides, for flat rides, it's about 16 minutes when you send it in mechanics. That's not bad. I could send in somebody, but let's see what else I got first. Berry Theater is 27 minutes. And then over here, Rapunzel's Wheel. If I remember, not Rapunzel's Wheel. I'm sorry, Rumpelstiltskin's Wheel. Over two is over here. Let's check it out. See. I like something. And it looks 48 minutes. It's got tons of time. Unicorn Ride is my merry-go-round. 12 minutes. That would be the first. That would be the next one I should do. And then over here is the teacups, which I've renamed Alice's Teacups. For your folks. It's also 50 minutes. That was 12, right? I think so. And then over here, roller coasters are just 40 minutes, unfortunately. So let's check out real fast over here with that roller coaster too, just to see where we're at with that. Wow, that's not working. There we go. It's got icing on it. And it is another 24 minutes. That'll have it. And then over here, 100 minutes each for these issues. Once they drop down over here on the power side of things, they stay down, and that actually will draw, unfortunately, the amount of time that they have available. Right? I'm sorry, amount of power they have available. Not time. Here, I'll show you. This one probably is fine. This is a second one I built a couple of times ago. Here, 25 minutes left. It's got 100% condition, but here's the first one I built. Yeah. It's got, you can see it's down 20 power. It's never going back. I'd have to refurbish it. Luckily, it's still at like 70%, so that would be pretty cheap compared to just getting it in. Well, let me see how much time I got left too. Probably about 25 minutes to be more gas. Yeah, 26 minutes would be the idea. But again, to refurbish it on like $135. Easily do that. All up and down the block. But let's go ahead. And while I'm here thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and call the mechanic to those rides. For you folks. I think it was the unicorn ride would have been next. Just double check it. Yeah, 15 minutes. It was 12, right? So I'll head over to here. And I have one of those mechanics that are working on research constantly, unless the other one is on a break. And then you have that one is on maintenance. And I started out to cut down. I said to cut down on cost early on, but that didn't work. See how much time I got? About another 5 minutes. I'll just go ahead and call this mechanic in too. After that's all done, folks, see what happens with that, right? All that good stuff for you folks. You're no black. And you can also see here's a quick look at our staff for you folks. Now, as a reminder, those have a bigger cost on them to keep them into place. So I prefer the vending machines, but a lot of people said that they just want to shop at an actual store. I also got that from souvenirs. So that's one of the reasons why I open up those, and they say they want to get some souvenirs here. So you might also see the souvenir shop here next time for you folks. But let's pull up the stuff real quick while we're just waiting around, just so you can see where we're at after a few hours of play. Here, my guest experience, you can see that they're liking my scenery now. That's good. And then some people just don't like it. That's fine. You can see some people here. If you take a look here at the guest needs, you can see that shopping with souvenirs. It's not met, but they don't consider it great. That's definitely a pushback. So over here, we're just taking a look at my staff. I got all these people. Actually, I just hired somebody as a riot attendant, looks like over there with the Giants of Splendor. So let's drop them pay too, because I just don't want to make that much money, unfortunately. And then my vendors only 15 each. That's actually pretty pricey early on, right? And that's over. So you can see I got one for each of those build things. We're not bringing in that much money, right? So, all right. So there you are. I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. So just let me know what your thoughts are with this stuff. Happy to sort of engage you with it further. And that's over there. Tune in the comments below. Hopefully, this splintering will be bringing in more money. I'm sorry, or Giant Splinter. That we renamed it to will be bringing in more money as a high-profile, high excitement roller coaster, bringing in more money than just a few thousand over an entire day, and waving around, right, and that sort of thing too. So I hope we'll be in a better place when that happens. Just as a heads up for you folks. Alright, and then also check it out too and see. But hopefully, hopefully spending $16,000, for a loan for an amusement park, will be fine. But we had to, for Let's Play purposes, we did have to spend some early money on loans for just regular flat rides to try to get that money. Right, and that sort of a thing too. So maybe there's just too much of a loan. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll be fun. Right, and that sort of a thing too. You can see one of the issues that I was having not enough people. But I'm not worried about 70s or 80s. But now we're at like 194 for opening that roller coaster. So I think that's one of the reasons why my finances. Also, I talked earlier, just as a heads up, about doing advertising. I'll show you real quick. But I'd forgotten that advertising on Planet Coaster 2 had changed from Planet Coasters previously. So here, I'll show you how that works. Option. No, I think it's in the marketing section. It's over here in this the guest section. Yeah. Guest advertising. Over here, basically what you're doing is you're spending basically $1,000 an hour to just build up a certain guest. And so here's the flat ride. Because I started with a ton of flat rides, I actually already had 100% awareness here. And you can see you have to have 110 park rating, and I did, right, and another. But you can see that I've already met that requirement. And I'm already at 500 daily returning guests for those. No, I built that coaster though. I already have the one. There might be something I can do next week. And check that. But basically, what you're doing is targeted ride. Or previously you might do advertising for ride, or for the park, or for free drinks, right? That's and food, right? But that's changed how that works. Just a heads up. And so I just check it out, and I just didn't see that happen. Just a heads up. But I thought about it. See if that worked. It's working slowly over time. For you folks, let me just check out the coaster riders here too. See if there's something here I can do. Because I'm already at the max for the flat rides. They all love my park. Let's check out the coaster locker. Love me. You can't. Yeah, if you take a look at there at the bottom, it's not letting me. Let me just take a quick little viewing of the requirements here. I must have 2 rides in the park. I already have 2. Sorry. Yeah, that might be a good place now that I have 2 rides though. But that's like $1,000 an hour. That's gonna be very, very fast and you need to move on. If you'll recall, previously, I wasn't getting like that much an hour. Right? It's a good thing too. Alright, let's go and dismiss that and come back to you guys. Again, thank you. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Thanks again so much for just taking some time out of your day and investing it, right? And watching my video, because we all have so many things that are happening in this. So many different directions too, right? So I just appreciate that. It's a very humbling to spend the time with me. I also do older video game reviews on Wednesday when this probably is getting posted, so you can check out those things, as well as tabletop RPG or war game reviews, older serials, and all the things you read in this fantasy science fiction and horror too. That's like you're going. For you folks. Alright, thanks again. Have an amazing day.